Okay, so who hasn't, like, pictured themselves rolling up to some big event in a ride that, like, turns heads, right? I know I have.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And that's kind of what we're diving into today. This ABA Corporation Transportation, they've been all about luxury rides in Houston for over 20 years, apparently.
Wow, that's a while.
Right, and
But
they've got this whole fleet that's just, like, made for making a statement. But we're not just going to list what they have. We're figuring out what those choices actually say about luxury these days. What does it even mean?
yeah. Yeah, and that's what I think is so interesting about this ABBA company, They seem to really get the whole psychology of luxury. It's not enough to just get somewhere. It's about the whole experience, the image, the feeling even. And the cars they choose, their whole fleet really reflects that. I think it's really smart, actually.
Totally, totally. So should we get into these rides? They've got the classics, like a Cadillac Escalade.
Oh, clever.
Right. But then there's this, get this, a minibus, which is actually like a tricked out Ford F550. Fits up to 30 people.
30 people in an F550, that's what...
I know.
Wild.
And if that's not enough, they've got the Volvo 9700 coach bus.
Okay, now that's a statement.
Right. So what I'm wondering is, what kind of clients are they going for with these options?
Oh, that's a great question. With the Escalade, it's definitely that classic luxury client. Small groups, maybe, but with expensive taste. Then the F550. That one makes me think more corporate clients, maybe team outings, or, those who want that luxury touch, but not the full-on limousine vibe.
Right.
And the coach bus.
I mean, that's got to be for a grand entrance or something.
Absolutely. Big events, huge groups. Anyone who really wants to make an impression, you can't miss that thing.
Definitely not. So it's not just about the size of the vehicle, it's about what it says.
100%. It's about, like we were saying, that psychology.
Yeah.
Different luxury clients want different things.
Exactly. And speaking of what clients want, one thing that jumped out from looking at ABA's website is they're not just focused on the vehicle itself.
Right.
It's the whole experience they keep talking about, even mentioning their, quote, highly skilled and dedicated chauffeurs.
Well, yeah. You'd hope there are more than just drivers at those prices.
Right. But what do you make of that? Like, why highlight that so much?
This whole thing ties into this trend we're seeing, where luxury isn't about owning things so much anymore. It's about the experience. You can't just have a nice car or whatever. It's got to be like a whole curated thing. And that's where ABBA is smart. They're playing into that with this focus on their drivers, making it feel personalized and exclusive.
So they're really selling a feeling as much as a ride, huh?
Pretty much. It's clever. I'll give them that.
So let's get into the the specific services.
Okay, sure.
We've got the private charters. They're like, flexible for anything from like a business trip to a night out. Then there's corporate events. Obviously, reliability is huge there. And then event charters, where they're all about making it, quote, smooth and memorable. Anything strike you as out of the ordinary there, or maybe just like super strategic?
Honestly, they are pretty standard services for this, high-end transportation world. But it's interesting how they frame it all.
What do you mean?
Like emphasizing flexibility for the private charters and that smooth and memorable bit for events. It shows they get what matters to these clients,
Yeah.
They want things to be easy, reliable, and of course, luxurious.
And speaking of how they present themselves, can we talk marketing for a sec? Because their website copy, it's something else. For their limousine service, they use phrases like a statement of style and sophistication. And for the party bus, they want you to, quote, experience a new level of celebration. That feels very intentional, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's that classic, aspirational marketing. Using words like sophistication, celebration, new level.
Yeah.
They're tapping into exactly what their clients want. They're selling them on this, elevated lifestyle, one that's better than the everyday. It's smart.
Super smart. Okay, so last question. If you had to pick one vehicle from ABA's fleet for your dream event, what would it be? What statement are we making?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You know what? I got to go with the classic Escalade. It just screams timeless elegance. And honestly, who doesn't love a little bit of old school Hollywood glamour?
I like the way you think.
What about you?
Oh, man, I'm going bigger, going home, coach bus all the way.
Of course you are.
Got to make an entrance, right? Well, listeners, that's it for our deep dive this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.